food sovereignty, and climate justice. We are fighting for our freedom, and we are loving and supporting each other. We are determined to win because it's the only way we will lose our chains. If we truly believe that another world is possible, we must honor and acknowledge the groups who are most impacted by these issues, and not only stand in solidarity with them, but take leadership from them. Thank you.
And we'd like to take a minute now to thank our gracious hosts here, Alejandro Alfro Santos and Reverend Barb Dinnen. Okay.
Thank you.
And,
now I have it on. Now I'm on. I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you all to Trinity United Methodist Church and Las Americas, Comunidad de Fe. We are a blended, multicultural congregation that meets here, and we are absolutely thrilled to have you. I stand in a long line of pastors and people who have been part of justice and working with the people, and this is just one more. This church when in the Central American War, we were a sanctuary church. We got some people here that were part of it. In our small kitchen, we served 54,000 meals in 2013. We have, and we are just thrilled to have you and be part of this program.
Buenas tardes a todos y todas. Es un placer estar acá. Mi nombre es Alejandro Alfaro, soy pastor de las Américas, como dijo. Sí, está encendido. Ok, ahora sí. Bueno, buenas tardes a todos y todas. Mi nombre es Alejandro Alfaro Santi, soy el pastor de las Américas, como dijo la pastora Barb. Y es un placer estar acá. Este lugar es un lugar de resistencia, es un lugar de solidaridad y es un lugar de amor. Le damos la bienvenida a los hermanos y hermanas de Honduras y hermanos y hermanas de todos diferentes estados, diferentes países, y es un placer estar acá. So I'm Alejandro Alfaro Santis, I'm the pastor here at Las Americas, like Barb said, and this is a place of resistance, this is a place of love, this is a place of solidarity, so we're thrilled to be here. It's refreshing to have a food sovereignty prize in Des Moines during this week, and I don't think I do need to say why, because everybody knows. But just to see your faces, just to see your energy, to see your love, to see the reason why you're here, that's really, really great. Es refrescante y es muy bueno tener un premio de soberanía alimentaria aquí en Iowa, especialmente en esta semana. Al ver sus caras y ver todo el amor que traen y cómo les importa las cosas, y tener hermanos y hermanas de otros países está muy bien y muy importante. Entonces, muchas gracias por estar acá, y cualquier cosa que necesiten, siempre aquí estamos a la orden.
We have our music on Sunday is bilingual also, and so we have a few of our folks here from Trinity and Las Americas to have a song with you, and from the other group.
Care about justice and peace and the environment, but with the other people are gone away for tonight. So we're going to kind of do a number here that I hope can resonate in your soul. After we get going with it, if you can find yourself to sing with us, that's fine. But let us get started so we can get this. This is about a river, and you know, today I was sitting down on the river, and I used to kayak in the river, used to swim in the river. Now I'm kind of upset because the river's not how I'd like it to be. I'm a member of CCI, I care about water quality, care about the land. Yeah. So it just came to me as I sat there. There's some verses in here about strength, about determination. I've got Peace Like a River. We're going to try to do it for you. This is the first time I've worked with this choir of ladies, and we're going to give it a shot. All right.
I'll join in. Yeah, join in. Come on.
Okay, somebody's going to hold this.
Okay.
I'm going to get, we're going to move out to here.
All right. I'm going to stand real close to him. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to need those cords. I'm going to need this cord here. You guys are going to use those mics.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to do with this one?
Carolyn's going to hold it. We didn't. All right. Let me get this started, and I'll get the rhythm in my. Some things resonate in your soul, and after a while, I think you'll get into this. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Yes, I do.
I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain, strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got determination. I got determination in my soul. I've got determination in my soul. I've got determination. I've got determination in my soul. All right, peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that beautiful music. It's good and inspiring and puts us in such a great, joyful mood.
Yes, thanks. All right, well, we thank the Trinity Church Choir, and we'll have Diana then introduce the Mystica then next.
All right, so now we're going to have a Mystica, which is like a ritual to bring us together in the struggle and to help us move forward in fighting for justice. So I'd like to invite the Mystica participants from the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance who are going to perform a Mystica for you. Let's give a round of applause to them. These are on.
We're going to read a poem composed by Carol Prejean Zippert, who's the wife of a long-standing program activist organizer of the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, who are one of the honorees this evening. I dream community I dream people.
Sueño en la comunidad, sueño el pueblo.
I dream birth and life, and birth and life again.
Sueño nacimiento y vida otra vez.
I dream community. I dream gifts, resources, and commitments.
Sueño en la comunidad, en los regalos, recursos y los compromisos.
I dream sharing, serving, and sacrifice.
Sueño en el compartir, el servir y el sacrificio.
I dream community. I dream risk, growth, and joy.
Sueño en la comunidad, sueño en el riesgo, crecimiento y la alegría.
I dream struggle, hope, and justice.
Sueño en la lucha, la esperanza y la justicia.
I dream community. I dream peace.
Sueño comunidad, sueño la paz.
I dream community. I dream love and celebration.
Sueño la comunidad, sueño el amor y la celebración.
We dream community. We dream unity.
Soñamos comunidad, soñamos
la
unidad.
Thank you to Esteban, Axel, Catherine, and Nora for that beautiful Mystica. So now I'd like to introduce to you two speakers who are going to frame for us food sovereignty here in the US and what food sovereignty means at a global level. First, I'd like to introduce Barb Colbach. She is a fourth-generation family farmer and nurse from Dexter, Iowa, and the president of the board of Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement Action Fund. And she and her family have been engaged in activism to support family farmers for over 30 years.
Hi, my name is Barb Colbach. I'm a registered nurse and a fourth-generation family farmer from Dexter, Iowa. Now, you may wonder why a status quo corn and soybean farmer is here to talk to you tonight and to people from around the world whose problems seem far beyond mine. But you see, our struggles are similar. Your fight is our fight, and our fight is your fight. Together, fighting for food justice and food sovereignty around the world. I've been a member of Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement now since 2002, when a man came from 60 miles away into our neighborhood to build a big factory farm 2,000 feet from my house. Well, Iowa CCI empowered my community and my family, and we shut that factory farm down. Now, family farming has been a hard life at times, but it's been a good life in a lot of ways. And I'm glad we were able to raise our 3 children on a family farm where they learned the value of taking care of what you have. They learned empathy for living things. They learned persistence in working toward goals. And they were able to roam and play and explore the farm and the land without fear of any harm. So it was a great thing for them. My great-grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents all farmed within 20 miles of where we farm today. And my husband, Jim's parents and grandparents farmed the land where we live today. So I guess you could say that family farming is my legacy. But in Iowa, big corporate-owned farming is on the rise. Their heads are filled with power and money, and they've got plenty of both. And we know they didn't get it by accident. In farm country, ag corporations started to consolidate their power back in the 1980s when thousands of family farmers were driven from the land here in Iowa in the farm crisis of the 80s. Large ag corporations consolidated their power, by influencing our lawmakers through the commodity groups for beef, pork, dairy, and the grains, and through a powerful corporate advocacy group called the Farm Bureau. These groups have made sure factory farms have few regulations, and they've defunded the one oversight body that would enforce what few regulations there are to protect people. Just like Iowa's family farmers are under attack, so are you. A powerful Iowa businessman, Bruce Rastetter, went to Tanzania and attempted to buy 800,000 acres from the Tanzanian government for 20 cents an acre. He intended to start corporate factory farming in that area, but he would be displacing 162,000 people who live there. Do you think Bruce cared? I don't think so. But we stopped him. It was a group effort. Groups from around the world. Palm oil is being harvested in the second largest rainforest in the world in Cameroon, disrupting the lives of the indigenous people and enriching a wealthy corporation. But these are just two examples of what's happening around the world. So here we are tonight to honor the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. They work tirelessly through the courts, through the state and the federal legislatures to keep African American family farmers on the land. And we also want to honor the Black Fraternal Organization of Honduras, fighting to protect the cultural, economic, and social rights of the Garifuna communities. There's 46 of them along the Atlantic Ocean, and they are fighting to protect their rights and their community and their culture. Well, what's happening to me and my family, and to you and your families, is not an accident. It's the result of a deliberate plan that's been going on for decades now. It's been hatched by abusive CEOs who are clear they need to take power, land, and indigenous wealth in order to expand profits. Their agenda is simple: reduce wages and worker protections, cut expenses for corporations and the wealthy, deregulate agriculture and industry, privatize anything and everything, and take power away from us. That ain't right. Destroying environment and displacing communities isn't a goal. It's a power shift to help them achieve their goal. Taking away voter registrations and introducing voter restrictions isn't the goal. It's a power shift that helps them move their agenda forward. Dismantling worker rights not only leaves wages and worker protections in the dust, it's also a power shift that reduces workers' policies and participation in politics. As a result of these power shifts, we are seeing the breakdown of education, of communities, of cultures, of environmental protections, all the systems that are designed to reflect our caring for each other, of our shared fates. We are all affected by this, but women and people of color are affected the most. Well, I mean to fight back, and that's why. That's why I'm part of a powerful people's organization like Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement, and that's why I support the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance. The big corporations have a plan. Well, we have a plan of our own. A plan to build local economies, cultures, and communities that serve and value people like us, not just the corporate bottom line. A plan for moving from what we can win to what we need to win. And our plan involves taking power back from abusive corporations and moving that power to everyday people. We don't want a seat at the table. We want to run that table. Let's go. It'll take all of us pulling together. But when we're done, family farms will again be passed to new generations, and it will happen in new local economies, one that values the land and those who farm it, one that values thriving local communities. It's done. One that values varied cultures and what they bring to their communities, one that values education and health care for every one of its citizens, one that values the environment and the judicious use and maintenance of its resources for all generations. Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Barb. Yes. Thank you for those powerful words. Again, thank you, Barb, for those powerful words, the recognition that there's so much work that we have to do and that we have to do together. And this week, I've just been so inspired by so many powerful women, so many powerful allies, and I just want to say thank you again for those powerful words. So now we're going to hear from Petrus Brink. He was a farm worker and organizer on the White Commercial Citrus Farm from Citrudal, South Africa, on the Western Cape, and one of the leaders of the Citrico Farm Workers and Farm Dwellers and Migrants Forum, which is affiliated to the Right to Agrarian Reform for Food Sovereignty campaign, which is affiliated to the Via Campesina International, the global peasant movement with 200 million members. Petrus works for rights of the farm workers, farm dwellers, the rights of women, access to land for Black South Africans, and developing agroecology. So let's give it up for Petrus.
Campesinos, campesino. Viva farm workers, viva. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends, comrades. It is really a great honor for me as a South African citizen to be here in the US and to promote the rights of farm workers. I'm really honored tonight to be here with you to promote the rights of farm workers, farm dwellers, and migrant workers in South Africa. As you know, South Africa has gone through a devastated era of apartheid, where black people has not been seen as humans. And we thought that when we elect the first black president of South Africa, we thought, Mr. Nelson Mandela, then we thought that the freedom that so many comrades in South Africa, the freedom that so many people has been suffered, people like Stephen Bantu Biko, who has consciousness, we have dreamed for, will eventually realized just after 1994. But today we are in about 22 years in democracy. It's really a young democracy in comparison with the US. But today we really see that this reality that we dreamed for has not happened. Farm workers in South Africa, and amongst women in South Africa, women farm workers are not respected. They are all not respected in South Africa. They are the people in South Africa, they are seen as the lowest working class people in South Africa. But we, as the Right to Agrarian Reform for Food Sovereignty campaign, we have made a decision that we will fight for the rights for women and children till the end. We have made a decision that women must have equal rights to land, equal rights to property, and equal have the right to farm, as the words say, food sovereignty. We are, as I was saying, almost in 22 years into democracy. The South African ANC government has made a decision just after 1994 that at the end of 2016, they will at least move approximately 30% of the land that was still stolen from black South Africans, black indigenous people, that they will move 30% at the year of 2016 back to the rightful owners. But today, as I speak, only 6% of the land that was stolen from indigenous people has been removed back to the rightful owners. So it is still a very big challenge for us in South Africa to see how are we going to take the struggle for land forward. How are we going to make sure as a movement, as people, how are we going to work with the US Food Sovereignty Alliance and other global organizations, other global movements, with the Via Campesina, to see how we are going to address this issue, the fact that we don't have land and the fact that women doesn't have access to land. We also know that changes within a democracy doesn't come easy. And we have also learned from the constitutionalized democracy that it's very difficult, because our hands has been in chains after 1994, and we still have to do very, very hard work to do land and agrarian reform in South Africa. But we are full of hope that the changes will come, and we are prepared to strengthen our relationship with other organizations, with other movements, to make sure that the voice of the rural people, the voice of women and children, the voice of farm workers, the voice of those who doesn't have land, that those voices are connected and that we can build on this. We, here in the US, when we are first invited to the US, we didn't think that there are so many small farmers in the US. But we have really been through an epic tour, that we have really seen that there is really some very hard work has been done here in the US in terms of food and sovereignty. Food and we have seen that a campaign, wonderful projects here in the US. And we think that this, me and my fellow partner, Nora, are going to take back many of the experiences that we have learned here, and we are going to build the campaign. So for us, it was really wonderful, and it is really wonderful to be here, and we hope that we will take this campaign further. We hope that we will move and that we will use all the opportunities that we can have to make sure that the voice of farm workers, that it is being heard. In South Africa, the life of farm workers, the working conditions of farm workers are really very, very bad. And multinational corporations, transnational corporations are exploiting the people. So it is time that we must take hands and build alternatives so that farm workers also can have the rights and access to land. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you much, Barb and Petrus, for those powerful stories of the struggles of farmers around the world, which are a part of our message and part of what the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance is all about. I would now like to welcome up here First, I will introduce the presenters and that. So, former honorees from MST, the Landless Peasant Movement, from Family Farm Defenders, and representatives from the National Family Farm Coalition. So all right, and our 2015 Food Sovereignty Prize honoree is the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. Oh. The Federation of Southern Cooperatives strengthens a vital piece of food sovereignty, keeping land in the hands of family farmers who are surviving in the face of industrial agriculture that seeks a farming without farmers, as well as a synthetic and structural racism that has forced farmers off the land. The Federation was born in 1967 out of the civil rights movement, and to keep farms black and family owned, the Federation has been developing and supporting land-based cooperatives, providing training in sustainable agriculture and forestry, and advocating for farmers in the courts and the state and national legislatures. Through the Federation's leadership, the U.S. Department of Agriculture finally settled with thousands of families of black farmers who were forced off their land, with corrupt and racist USDA officials denied farmers access to credit and programs that farmers needed to survive. Through made up primarily of African American farmers, the Federation includes Native Americans, Latino, and white farmers in farmer cooperatives across 16 southern black farmer states. The Federation's work and lessons may be more important than over 100 years ago. Black farmers owned or operated 14% of farmland in the U.S., but today only 4.4% of farmland in the U.S. is operated by black farmers. Ben Burkett, a farmer, Mississippi Association of Cooperatives Director, and National Family Farm Coalition Board President said, "Our view is local production for local consumption. It's just supporting mankind as family farmers. Everything we're about is food sovereignty, the right of every individual on earth to wholesome food, clean water, clean air, clean land, and the self-determination of a local community to grow and do what they want. We just recognize the natural flow of life. It's what we've done always." So with that, we'd like to present this award to Cornelius Blanding, was selected by the Board of Directors to be the new Executive Director of the Federation of Southern Cooperatives Land Assistance Fund this past March, succeeding Director Ralph Page, who served as Executive Director from 1985 to 2015. Cornelius previously serves as the Director of Marketing and International Development for the Federation of Southern Cooperatives Land Assistance Fund, in which he specializes in marketing, capacity development, strategic planning, and rural international program development, implementation, and management. So with that, a big hand for Cornelius Blanding and the Federation of Southern Cooperatives.
You want me to keep this up here with me? All right, well, let me read it. The 2015 Food Sovereignty Prize honors the Federation of Southern Cooperatives for their commitment to advancing human rights, justice, freedom, and equality for all people through the food sovereignty movement. You see, I guess that messed up the flow of everything. I wasn't supposed to come up until you called me, huh? It's an honor to be here in this place at this time, I tell you. And I'd like to really congratulate the past honorees. The past awardee honorees. It's an honor to be following you, MST in Brazil. We actually spent time with some representatives from MST in Cuba for the 55th anniversary of land reform in Cuba, and talked about our movements together and some similarities of the work. The Family Farm Defenders, we did quite a bit of work with you after Hurricane Katrina in terms of providing food around rural communities and agricultural communities around the South, especially in Louisiana. The National Family Farm Coalition, been a part of you all and have representation on your board. Petrus, so you know we had a chance to talk on the way up. When President Nelson Mandela first came in office, he sent his first Minister of Agriculture, Derek Heinegam, to the Federation to look at land reform issues that we were dealing with, and the hopes to look at that and change the movement in South Africa. So you see, our movement is truly global. We're all connected. We all have the same issues, the same problem, and we must all work from it from the same angles. This is a global movement. Let me start by saying thank you to the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance. Thank you to the Alliance and all those responsible for recognizing our organization, our mission, and the work that we've done over 48 years. I also want to thank the supporters, the people who make this award and this event possible. And let me especially say thank you to all of you and all those advocates for food sovereignty who make our work and this prize that much more special. I wasn't here. This event's been going on for a few days, and I couldn't make it. But I'm glad I got a chance to spend time with the committees today. I walked around on the peripheral of many of the committee meetings that were going on, and I got sucked into one of the committee meetings today, and the conversation started going to cooperatives and land, and I started getting real excited about that because our work, the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, is a nonprofit cooperative association of black farmers, landowners, and cooperatives all around the South. And again, we were formed out of the Civil Rights Movement. So the work around cooperatives is very exciting to me. The work around land is very exciting. There's some critical periods of time, some critical things that happen that form the basis of our organization. Before and during the 60s, during the Civil Rights Movement, there were cooperatives. The cooperative movement collided with the Civil Rights Movement. You had a lot of black farmers and landowners who were that experienced a lot of racism, a lot of inequities that started forming out of necessity. You had farmers in Tennessee who couldn't get gas because of racism, who formed cooperatives. You had women who were in Alberta, Alabama, one of the poorest counties in Alabama, who had to form because of trying to register to vote and being kicked off jobs, and had to form worker cooperatives. You had sweet potato growers in Louisiana who couldn't get a fair price for their product, who had to form cooperatives. You had land buyers in Alabama who formed cooperatives, all out of necessity. But there were 22 co-ops that came together in 1967 that created the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. So we're truly a land-based movement, a movement from grassroots and directly from the people, forming cooperatives out of necessity. So cooperatives is a big piece of the work that we do and what we're about. But also important dates that mean a lot. Land, we talk about land, and land is the basis of land is the basis of everything, and especially food sovereignty. In 1910, there were roughly 15 million acres of land owned by 218,000 black farmers. Before the turn of the century, less than 100 years, the 1992 Ag Census reported there were only 18,000 black farmers remaining, owning about 2.3 million acres of land. So the black farm land loss was going at such an alarming rate, they thought there would be no more black land by the year 2000. That forms the basis of the work we do, reversing that trend and saving black-owned land. Because again, land is the central piece of food sovereignty. Without land, there is no food. So again, those are the critical pieces that form our work, and we say all land matters, but we especially want to say that black land matters. It matters to us in the South, it matters to our communities, it matters to this work, and it should matter to this world. And we're going to keep fighting to save black-owned land. But again, all land matters. Land is the basis of food sovereignty. So I want to say thank you. I want to, on behalf of the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, our board of directors, our committed staff who works toward the mission of the organization daily, and more importantly, black farmers, landowners, and cooperatives. On behalf of them, I accept this award. But I also want to congratulate our co-winner, the Black Fraternal Organization of Honduras, because it's truly when we all start to work together, when we all start realizing the value of land, and we all start realizing how important this work is and how global this movement is, that we'll start making some movement on food sovereignty and the democratic control of land. So again, I say thank you, and let's keep up the fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much to Cornelius and to the Southern Cooperative as well. It's so great to have such inspirational and powerful people in the room and powerful work that's happening that's so important. So now I'd like to invite the presenters for the next award to the stage. If Community to Community can join me, Community Alliance for Global Justice and Grassroots International. And these are former honorees of the Food Sovereignty Prize, as well as strong allies that we have in the movement. So as Cornelius mentioned, our next honoree is the Organization of Fraternal Negra Hondureña. And I've had the great honor of spending some time with Miriam. And she is powerful, she is moving, she inspires you. And I must say, as an Afro-Latina, for me, it's great to see such a powerful woman and to see her fighting for the rights of the Garifuna people. And it's just moving and really inspiring to me. So, la Organización Fraternal Negra Hondureña, or the Honduran Black Fraternal Organization, emerged in 1978 as a federation of the Garifuna people of Honduras in defining their cultural and land rights with the aim of achieving survival as a distinct culture. OFRANEH was the first grassroots organization of indigenous peoples of Honduras dedicated to meet the immediate needs of our people. Currently, OFRANEH defends ancestral territory along the Caribbean coast of Honduras, which is threatened by pressure from tourist developers, as well as palm oil plantations. In addition to threats from the current coup government to take the land and displace the people. At the same time, OFRANEH promotes a process of information aimed at Garifuna Afro-Indigenous people, through community radio and permanent assemblies, emphasizing gender work, taking into account the women-centered view of the Garifuna people. The threats on the Garifuna are many: land grabbing, climate change, environmental vulnerability, and the loss of culture, among others. These challenges deserve an immediate response. Miriam Miranda is a Garifuna woman and is a leader of the Honduran Black Fraternal Organization. She is a powerful woman that has dedicated her life to defending ancestral territory and Garifuna culture, their food, farming, and spiritual rituals. So I'd like to invite Miriam to the stage. Miriam. So Okay.
Muchas gracias. No hay otro micrófono para que lo tengas. Quiero comenzar diciendo de que en los últimos años que he venido siempre, que paso por migración y llego a Estados Unidos y que no sé hablar inglés.
I want to share that all of these years that I have to come to US and pass by immigration, and I don't know how to speak English.
Me dicen, ¿cómo es posible que tú no hables inglés?
Told me, how is possible that you don't speak English?
Y yo siempre digo, hay una población muy grande de negra que no habla inglés y que habla otros idiomas.
There is a big black population that they don't speak English, but they speak a lot of different languages.
Quiero decirles que yo soy afroindígena, soy del pueblo garífuna, es un pueblo que es una mezcla indígena con negro africano, indígena caribe y arahuaco, único en América.
I want to say that I am an Afro-Indigenous people, is a mix of Indigenous people and Afro-descendant, and is also a mix of Arahuaco and Caribe. There's two different groups of Indigenous people in the Caribbean area.
Tenemos una cultura, una identidad, un idioma propio y una forma de ver la vida propia también, y que nos hace precisamente tener esa cultura e identidad indígena.
We have our own culture, our own language, our own spirituality, and we have our own identity, and that's part of our culture.
Estamos ubicados en la costa atlántica y caribe de Honduras, en 43 comunidades garífunas.
We are located in the Atlantic and Caribbean coast of Honduras, and we are like 43 communities.
Somos un pueblo con una estructura o una cultura matrilineal, o sea que las mujeres somos muy fuertes en mi cultura.
Our culture is a matriarchal culture. That means that women are very powerful, are in the front of the decision making.
En ese sentido, las mujeres no solamente damos vida, no solamente somos dadoras de vida, también damos cultura, damos identidad, parimos vida en todo el sentido de porque también estamos al frente de la batalla, al frente de la lucha por los derechos de nuestros territorios y nuestra vida.
We as a women, we bring life, but not just life. We also bring the culture, pass the culture, and that is life. We as a women are also in the front lines defending our ancestor territory.
Nos encontramos hoy en honor a miles y millones de trabajadores del campo, campesinas, campesinos, indígenas, pueblos negros, que están luchando por defender sus territorios, por ejercer el derecho a producir alimentos para alimentarse.
I am here and I want to honor the millions of campesinos and campesinas, peasants, farm workers, indigenous people, Afro-descendants, all around the world fighting to defend their land and also fighting for have a right to produce their own food.
Por eso este reconocimiento a todos los trabajadores y las trabajadoras del campo es muy importante. Es definitivamente importante hacer honor a los que alimentan el mundo y que muchas veces son los más desconocidos en todo el planeta, y sobre todo los que están destruyéndose y los que están cada día más perseguidos y criminalizados por defender los territorios, los bienes comunes.
This is very important. This honor is very important, but it's important to highlight the farmer workers, women and men. We need to honor them because this is the people that are feeding the world, but these people are facing criminalization, persecution, assassinations just for defend their land and the right to produce food.
Hoy que nos encontramos en un planeta que está agonizando, estamos enfrentando una crisis civilizatoria, una crisis que no solamente es económica, no solamente es política, no solamente es cultural, es una crisis en la cual los seres humanos estamos viviendo producto de un modelo de vida que está destruyendo los recursos naturales y los bienes comunes.
We are living in this planet, and this planet is in agony. We are living a humanitarian crisis. It's not just a political crisis, an economic crisis, a cultural crisis.
Vamos a irnos porque como la cosa de la traducción es un poco complicada, ¿no es cierto? Sí, hay que darle un poquito. Alguien puede ayudarle también. Quiero decir que esta crisis que estamos enfrentando
I want to say that this crisis that we are facing
es basado en un modelo de vida que se exporta desde Estados Unidos.
It's based in a style of life that we export from US.
Hay un modelo de vida que se exporta al sur, en la cual todos tenemos que vivir como se vive en Estados Unidos, y eso no es posible.
It's a style where we are in the need to live like people live in US, and that is not possible.
Los recursos del planeta se están agotando. Los recursos del planeta en nombre de un modelo de vida que es insostenible.
Destroy in the name of
un derecho humano.
We need the right of food as a human right.
Yes.
Nuestras comunidades están siendo expulsadas, nuestras comunidades están siendo desplazadas para implementar megaproyectos industriales que están destruyendo el planeta.
Our communities had been displaced and destroyed just to build mega projects that are also destroying the planet.
Contra eso estamos luchando muchas comunidades en el sur, contra eso estamos luchando nuestras comunidades para no ser desplazadas, para no desaparecer como seres humanos.
Against that is what we are fighting. A lot of communities in the global south are fighting to be alive and not disappear.
En ese sentido, en nombre del pueblo garífuna, en nombre de las mujeres luchadoras, en nombre de los trabajadores y las trabajadoras del campo, de los indígenas, de los pueblos negros que están luchando por reivindicar el derecho a la alimentación, agradecemos profundamente a la Alianza por la Soberanía Alimentaria el reconocer la lucha por la vida que estamos haciendo en Honduras.
On behalf of the Garifuna community, on behalf of the powerful women in the front line defending their communities, on behalf of the farmer workers, campesinos and campesinas, negros, Afro-descendant, indigenous peoples in Honduras, we want to say thank you to.
Se reconoce el papel de la población negra en el mundo, del papel que jugamos como población negra.
There's a lack of recognition of the role of the black communities around the world.
por eso es que agradecemos en nombre de muchos que no están aquí, en nombre de los que ya se fueron, en nombre de los que nos acompañan espiritualmente, este reconocimiento. Muchísimas gracias.
For that we are grateful, not just me, all the black people in my community, all our ancestors, people that are in the struggle now, people that are not in the struggle with us today, but they were part of the struggle. In name of all of them, on behalf of all of them, we are saying thank you.
Está bien.
All right, thank you, Miriam, for all your hard work and dedication.
You want me to?
We'd also like to thank our sponsors at this time. So thank you, U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance and Iowa CCI for hosting this event. We'd like to thank the members and the pastors of Trinity Church here at the United Methodist Church. And thank you, audience, for attending today and participating. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. We'd also like to take this opportunity to invite the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance participants to come up to the stage, as well as the winners to come back to the stage. Our international allies, if you can all come up to the stage, please. All the participants who've been with us with the U.S. Food Sovereignty Alliance, come up to the stage.
Come on, bring it up, people. Let's go. Woo!
Don't be shy. We don't bite.
It's been so much fun and such an honor to work with all these people the last few days.
However. And before we hear from the Raging Grannies, I'd like to ask you all, we opened up by talking about how we have to commit to love and support one another, how we have to make a commitment to win, and that's what we're here trying to do today. Today's a national day around climate change, and to do that, I just wanted to do a chant with you all. So if we could say, que vivan las mujeres, que vivan los trabajadores, que vivan los farmers, que vivan, que viva la lucha. Okay, gracias, thank you. And we'd like to introduce the Raging Grannies. We're going to hear some songs from the Raging Grannies, so it's going to be nice and exciting. Do you need a mic? Here.
We're getting accessorized.
All right, good.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it's on. Here you go.
Stand over there, yeah. We don't want to have our backs to you, so we'll stand over here. You all have to sing along now, okay? All right. We are, after all, a sisterhood that's 100 years old, so we can't move that fast. Go ahead. Thank you. Okay. Yes, ma'am. The boss says back here. Music, everybody, you have words? Well, you can't sing without words. All right, you got it. All right. You gonna wing it?
I'll wing it. I'll sing it.
All right. Okay, let's. Okay, sorry. Yes, are we ready? Thank you all for inviting us. We are ending this special and exhilarating and reinforcing solidarity that we experienced tonight and during the whole session of the Alliance. We, as WILFers, Women International League for Peace and Freedom, as I said, we are an organization that's been fighting. Well, we don't fight. We're nonviolent. We've been nonviolent fighting for peace and freedom for 100 years. We're now celebrating or coming to the end of our 100th year, but we are as strong and hopeful as ever. We are persistent. We educate, we agitate, and we illuminate. And we hope that we can all join together tonight in one voice against the darkness and the meanness and the cruelty of this world, because we are now putting more positive karma into the world, and with our singing, we will do it even stronger. We will start with our home. Our home is your home, and home on the earth.
Thank you. We are very honored to be with you tonight and honored to close this wonderful ceremony. If you all have a song sheet, we're singing the song Home on the Earth to the tune Home on the Range, which is familiar to a lot of us here in America. And if the tune is not familiar, just make one up and just sing with gusto. We're more about the gusto, okay? Okay? Is everyone ready? Oh, give me a home where the rivers don't foam, where the squirrels and the chipmunks can play, where the waters have fish you can put on your dish, and the skies are not smoggy and gray. Woo! Home, home on the earth, where there's food and clean water for all, where we know corporate greed won't fulfill people's need, and humanity answers our call. We know GMOs aren't the answer they pose for the world's hungry people. In fact, our water, our soil, our bodies that toil are in danger, so now we must act. If our food, home on the earth, where there's food and clean water for all, where we know corporate greed won't fulfill people's need, and humanity answers our call. Yes. If our food and our land are at corporate command, then the green is the wealth they control. Local farmers best know to sustainably grow. Food sovereignty must be our goal. Woo! Home on the earth, where there's food and clean water for all, where we know corporate greed won't fulfill people's need, and humanity answers our call. Last verse. Let's return to our roots, growing safe food that suits everyone, everywhere on this earth. For the health of each one, generations to come, it's a right of all people from birth. Woo! Home There's food and clean water for all. Where need won't fulfill people's need. Yay, you're all in good voice. Okay, now we are in a church after all, and our last song is to the tune of When the Saints Go Marching In. And so it's hard to sing this song sitting down. So I think if people want to stand up, you can move around a little. Okay. Oh, when the earth is here for all, is here. Oh, when the earth is here for all, hallelujah, how I want to be in that number. When the earth is here for all. When wealth is not just for a few, the 1%. When wealth is not just for a few. How I want to be in that number. When wealth is not just for the few. When justice is a right from birth, the right from birth. When justice is a right from birth. Hallelujah, how I want to be in that number. When justice is a right from birth. When people know we all are one. When people know we all are one. Don't you know how I want to be in that number? When people know we all are one. When love's true power is realized. When love's true power is realized. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When love's true power is realized. When farming is sustainable. When farming is sustainable. Don't you know how I want to be in that number? When farming is sustainable. When peace prevails o'er all the earth. When peace prevails o'er all the earth. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When peace prevails o'er all the earth. First verse. Oh, when the earth. Okay. Peace.
Raging Grannies.
Thank you all.
Are we done?
All right, we also have your just desserts downstairs. A lot of baking and cooking, and that's what we are really good at.
Que vivan! So let's give another big round of applause for the Raging Grannies. Thank you to everyone for being with us here tonight. Thank you for celebrating OFRANEH. Thank you for celebrating the Federation of Southern Black Cooperatives. Thank you.